Myrtle the Hurdler and her pink and purple polka-dotted girdle. Myrtle the turtle lived near the water with big sister Nellie, mother and father. She played on the beach and lounged on her log. Every once in a while she went for a jog, but mostly she feasted on treats in the bog. She munched so much she had a bit of a belly. It grew flappy and floppy and jiggled like jelly, till one day she moaned to big sister Nellie, "I've got to do something to tone up these muscles. The track meet is coming. I've got to hustle." And there she is, pointing at her belly. Myrtle the turtle and some of her pals ran track and cross country at a school for gals. There were Myrtle and Mabel, Tony and Amy. Head of the team was the great coach Davy. Father Turtle loved Myrtle. He fretted and stewed over his dear daughter's middle. "It's my fault," he said, "all those cakes from my griddle." Mother said, "Here's an idea I'd like to propose. Hold in your stomach so it won't be exposed. With your shoulders pulled back and your posture erect, maybe no one will notice your tummy's unchecked." "I've tried that," sighed Myrtle, "but you can't hide neglect." The doorbell rang. It was Myrtle's friend Mabel. "Hey," Mabel said, "you want out of this pickle? I know just the thing. The answer's a girdle. My grandma wore one. It held in her middle." "A tortoise in a corset?" asked Myrtle, feeling hopeful. "I suppose I could try. No sense being bashful." To the mall went the girls looking for girdles. They found one on sale just perfect for turtles. So there's the girdle, polka-dotted. Myrtle was tickled. She looked fit as a fiddle in a pink and purple polka-dotted girdle. Myrtle wore her corset both day and night. Only thing was, it didn't feel quite right. Too bad girdles had to be laced up so tight. So there's Myrtle with her girdle on in bed. When spring break came, it was time to swim and play, but the girdle Myrtle wore kept getting in the way. She'd take it off now and then just to breathe a little, but sadly for Myrtle, she still had her middle. So there she is, eating her ice cream sandwich in the pond. Took her girdle off. Only 2 months remained till the big competition. Myrtle started training for her serious mission. "I need Myrtle to run the 100-meter hurdles," came word from the coach Davy, the #1 turtle. To track practice she went right after school. Myrtle ran hundreds and 400s too, whatever Coach Davy asked her to do. The harder she trained, the more fit she grew. Myrtle cut back on candy and ate more fruit. Veggies tasted better than ever before. Myrtle felt stronger. She had pep and galore. So here she is, drinking water and eating an apple. Still got her girdle on. She's eating healthy now. The big day arrived. The track meet was here. Busloads of runners came from schools far and near. Fans packed the stands. Families came to cheer. Myrtle looked peachy, warming up near the blocks, ready to race in spikes and pink socks. Other competitors looked pretty cool too. Jan wore new racing flats and spikes of blue. Said coach to his team, "Run all the way through." "Take your marks," yelled the starter. "Get set, go!" With the blast of the gun came the start of the show. Over the hurdles jumped Myrtle, Jan, and Joe. Nipping their heels were Kit, Anne, and Bridget, all trained to fly and visibly fit. There they are. Trouble brewed for Myrtle from the very first inch. "Oh no," gasped Myrtle as the darn girdle pinched. Myrtle was worried and losing ground fast. No way, no how did she want to be last. Anne, Joe, and Kit were passing her now. Myrtle was moving, but slow as a cow. As she neared the 4th hurdle, something went pow! What in the world was happening now? there's a cow. She's running slower than her friends, and something went pow. What do we think it is? With all of that straining, her laces came loose. Myrtle's girdle popped off. It flew like a goose. "Oh my," cried Myrtle, sailing over a hurdle. Coach Davy shouted, "Keep pushing, Myrtle." She pumped her arms and tried to run faster. Her legs and lungs hurt. Was she courting disaster? Near the 6th hurdle, Myrtle passed Jan. She gave it her all. It worked. She passed Anne. With 2 hurdles to go, Kit had the lead. Her foot hit a hurdle. She was losing her speed. She hit a hurdle. It was Myrtle and Joe in a dead heat for first. With 1 hurdle left, Myrtle needed a burst. She said to herself, "I'll make one final push." Like lightning she ran, feet barely touching the ground. After all that hard training, she lost 5 pounds. Myrtle lunged at the finish, and to her surprise, by a nose, she beat Joe. She won first prize. Soon she was greeted with the happiest cries. So there's Myrtle. She took the ribbon, and there's her friend right behind her. "Bravo," called Coach, handing Myrtle her medal. "Fantastic," gushed Father. "You did it," praised Mabel. "I'm so proud," beamed Mother. "Group hug," cried Sister. "Oh, thank you," said Myrtle, "but I owe it to you. I just can't imagine a better support crew." "You know what?" asked Myrtle, giving Mabel high fives. "Turtles with tummies can do without girdles. All they need is exercise. Work out and eat smart. You'll be just the right size." Myrtle felt happy, so strong, so proud. She smiled till her dimples showed, laughing out loud. It seemed she was floating on her own special cloud. There is Myrtle's girdle and her chips and her pop she left behind. She's going to be healthy now. So our craft is to make our own turtle. So to start, we're going to use 2 craft sticks. So we have green craft sticks. If you don't have green ones, you can just color them with a marker. And so I'm going to glue those together first. So just in an X position, you're going to add on top the shell, which is made out of a cupcake paper. So this is a white cupcake paper that I flattened out, and you can color it green. So quick ways to color it green would be to use a bingo dabber. I just rubbed the bingo dabber across it, or you can use your markers or your crayons and you can color the whole thing green. So then we're going to attach it to our turtle legs. So we want a little bit of a curve in our shell so that it looks like it's going to puff up. So we don't want it to go like this, flat and indented onto our shell. We want it to puff up like this. So we're going to attach that. I'm going to put some dots of glue on here. Okay, so that's our next step. So you can see from the back that our shell kind of puffs out that direction a little bit. It's not totally flat on there. And we're going to go to, while that dries, we're going to go to our next part, which is to just make our turtle's head and tail. So we're just going to take some little pieces of scrap, and I just basically need a oval shape. So you can cut that out of your scrap paper there, and I'm going to attach that onto the bottom of my shell. So it's going to go underneath, and then I'm going to put 2 eyes from our package of googly eyes on there. I'm going to stick those on our turtle's head. And then for a tail, I'm just going to make a little pointed piece of green. And I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue. So this is where we're at so far with our turtle. And then if you'll notice on our shell, we have some lines which show the markings on our turtle shell. So I'm going to use a marker and I'm going to make some lines. And so I'm just doing some lines however you would like your turtle shell to look. So whatever you're happy with. And then at the very end, when you're ready, you can add Myrtle's girdle onto your turtle. So it's a pink girdle with purple polka dots. So I'm going to get my pink marker and I'm going to draw across, and I'm going to make the legs. And then if you look back on our book, find a picture of that girdle. The girdle has some white lacing and purple polka dots. So I'm going to use my purple marker, which when you add it onto the green, it kind of comes out kind of dark, but that's okay. And I'm going to just quickly draw some polka dots on there. And you can find a pink marker that's light enough to show up pink on your green turtle. Draw your shorts on there. So if you want to do that, you can color through, or you can just do your regular green turtle. Those are your two options for Myrtle the turtle.